Fett. All right, Boba Fett.
Oh, I like
and
this
the new Reparations One slave ship.
Not Reparations One. It's.
I don't know if I can say that word. Hold up.
SJW One.
Slave One ship rename, and Boba Fett actors outraged. Outraged, I tell you. Outraged.
I have so much more respect.
And
I have
he
so much
says,
respect for
I'm
this
coming for you, Disney execs.
Yeah.
I have the high ground. Whatever.
Mark Anthony Austin, who played Boba Fett, has criticized the company for renaming the ship for new Lego toys. He said, "My ship will forever be Slave One. Nothing, not even Disney, can or will change that. This is the way."
No, you got to say it right. What? This is the way.
This is the way. Okay.
That's a Mandalorian reference.
Yes. Well, here's the interesting thing. And he makes a really good point. Slave, obviously, they're removing it because the word slave is just too, critical? Controversial? I don't know why the word slave would be controversial. You know, when you take pictures and you have flashes, you can set it up into slave mode because it it basically repeats what other things do. There's a lot of different uses of the word.
Yeah, well, what about Britney Spears? That's the first thing I thought was, I'm
a slave for you, yeah.
I'm a Boba Fett ship one for you. I'm a Boba Fett ship one slave for you. I don't know.
Well, I love this other tweet that he put out where he said basically here, wars sounds harsh, Disney. Let's change the franchise name to Star Disputes, right? Which is so funny. I mean, let's be realistic here for a second.
War is a controversial thing. No one wants it. Yep, can't have Star Wars. That's it.
Listen, slavery
Maybe we
is
should
a
call it
terrible
something
thing.
else, like Trek. How about? Oh, wait a minute. That already happened.
Well, Brian,
Star Journey.
Brian, the reality is that slavery is a bad thing.
Sure.
But
Yes.
Listen to me carefully. Slave One has nothing to do with slavery.
Yeah, come on.
It's literally the name of his ship. And I don't think slavery has anything to do with it. I don't know why George Lucas named it Slave One. I don't know why. Maybe because it has to work harder than all the other ships.
I always assume that was because, maybe... So first off, Slave One, that means it's probably Slave Two, Slave Three.
Well, it makes sense, yeah.
Probably has
we only know
ships.
one.
And he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Has to capture people. So maybe in some way, he has to keep people aboard the ship and
maybe they get captured and they're in slavery.
And Prisoner One doesn't really sound like a cool name. So he's like, well, what's another word? I was someone that's trapped. Oh, they're slaves. Oh, Slave One. That's
maybe that's why.
Maybe George Lucas was doing the devil's lettuce and he was on the wrong page of the thesaurus.
Good thing he doesn't run the 100-meter dash. That's all I'm saying.
Call back.
Woo! But here's the thing. This is just so ridiculous, and it so lines up with so many things. It's dear Disney, you can't make everyone happy 100% of the time. You can make some of the people happy some of the time, but not all of the people happy all of the time. And if you completely, what's the word? Minimize everything out there that's potentially remotely controversial, then you're going to have nothing of any value. I'm not saying Slave One is necessary to the ethos of Star Wars to be successful, but this is just one thing lined up with what's going to happen when somebody says they don't like, Princess Leia's ear, hair the way it's done. Does that mean that, you're going to remove
cultural
everything?
Appropriation
Or whatever.
Room there.
Listen, at some point.
They already tried to downplay the whole Slave Leia thing.
Well,
they removed it from all there's no Slave Leia stuff anywhere.
Well, her name can't be Slave Leia anymore. It has to be Jabba's little punk thing. I don't know. What do you call her now? She can't be that because slave is not allowed to be a word that's used.
Jabba's gender fluid prisoner number 13.
Yeah. By the way, slavery still happens in this world in other countries.
That's not an idea. People don't seem...
It's not here anymore.
First world individuals that have access to the internet and have the ability to complain nonstop, apparently, about benign things. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason people complain nonstop about benign things that doesn't matter to them or anyone around them is because they have nothing better to do. because they don't actually have to worry about where their next meal is going to come from. They're not fighting a war. They're not making sure that their sheep don't get killed by wolves. They don't have anything to work towards. Everything has been to a point. The essentials have just been handed to them, so they go and look for fights that are unnecessary. And the people in these places that are, listen, they don't even know anymore. Maybe they know, but maybe they don't realize that slavery is still happening. In places that have millions of people living there, there are still slaves. There are indentured servants in the Middle East. They still exist. People upload videos about how they're trying to escape from
But it's about a word, Brian. It's about a word. It's not even about. It's not even like slavery being the thing. It's just the word slave being used on a vessel.
Yes.
The word slave is not a bad word.
And Boba Fett was a bad guy.
And he was a bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. He was a bad guy. He was a villain. Hello?
We need some, listen, I don't know. I mean, look, the world is coming apart at the seams in some ways, but you're not helping it. You know, listen, get out there, you own all these IPs, just treat it with a little bit of reality. Let's stay in the moment. Yeah. Let's treat things with the canon that they deserve to be treated with.
And stop pandering to 1% of the people that just yell the loudest on Twitter. Please.
Stop listening to the person with the loudest megaphone.
Oh, God, I wish Twitter never existed.
Oh, double that.
Because Disney and all these companies, they're in this alternate reality where they think that this tiny little percentage of loud-mouthed a-holes on Twitter are actually the mass populace. Their mass customer base. Twitter owns like 3% of the market share for social media. And even then, it's a tiny portion of Twitter. So it's a tiny portion of social media that is not your whole customer base. Stop pandering to this little tiny 1% of people.
Yes, and here's a great piece of advice for everybody out there who makes anything, who does anything. Someone will always be offended by something.
Yep.
If you put the word rose on something, I guarantee you one person is going to come up to you and go, you know, I hate roses. I'm offended. Take it down. Now, you have to ask yourself, at what point do you just say, go away? Because that's dumb.
Right.
This is one of those moments. Go away.
Go away.
This is dumb.
Yeah.
Boba Fett's starship is called Slave One. Get over it. Move on.
Again, you are right. It doesn't matter to the story.
Doesn't matter. You can remove it, but why?
But it's dead by 1,000
But it's
cuts.
pandering.
It's dead by 1,000 cuts. It's a little bit, it's tiny little pandering SJW, prick, until you've lost so many people in your fan base that it doesn't actually make sense monetarily to make the movies anymore. That's what happens.
Yeah, it's virtue signaling. That's all it is.
My hair is a mess because I was like flipping my hair out, freaking out.
So yeah, so let's, I just got to say we 100% back up this guy's position.
Mark Anthony Austin.
So Lego merchandise going forward, guys, that's what it'll be named. And, I think he pretty much just made it so that we're not going to see Boba Fett in any upcoming movies.
Thanks for watching. To see the full conversation, become a member of the Popcast family. Use the link in the description below or go to our channel and click the join button. Select your tier and we'll see you at the next show.